Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thanks for joining me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today, courtesy of our friends across the pond at boxing247.com, who bring breaking news, I think for the first time ever on the show, which is now in its 264th episode or something like that. But breaking news. Let me report this breaking news to you. Dillian Whyte will face undefeated American contender Jermaine Franklin on his highly anticipated return to the ring Saturday, November 26th at the OVO Arena in Wembley, to be shown live worldwide on DAZN. As we all know, the body snatcher, 28-3, 19 knockouts, fell short of it in challenge against Tyson Fury and the WBC heavyweight title at Wembley in April, succumbing to a 6-round stoppage defeat in front of over 90,000 fans. But Brixton's big-hitting former interim WBC heavyweight champ is set to fight at the OVO, as I said, for the first time in his career as he looks to kickstart his journey toward a second shot at world honors. Facing him, Michigan's Franklin, 21-0, 14 knockouts. He's unbeaten in 21 fights since joining professional ranks back in April 2015. And the 28-year-old will be fighting outside the U.S. for the first time in his professional career when he meets Whyte over 12 rounds in London. Once described as America's next heavyweight hope, Franklin ended a 2.5-year layoff by stopping Houston's Rodney Moore in 5 rounds at McBride Hall in Gary, Indiana in May to extend his perfect record. The action-packed undercard also sees fast-rising Ipswich heavyweight Fabio Wardley, 14-0, 13 knockouts, clash with Nantwich's Nathan Gorman, 19-1, 13 knockout, for the vacant British title. Former WBA light heavyweight world title challenger Craig Richards, 17-3-1, 10 knockouts, takes on Latvian warrior Richard Bolotniks, who's 19-6-1, in an exciting matchup at 175 pounds. And Sandy Ryan, 4-1, 2 knockouts, will challenge Mexico's Miguel Rodriguez, 26-2, for her WBC super lightweight title. WBC silver super lightweight title, I might add. Wardley, by the way, 27 years of age, stopped Simon Vallily in 3 rounds of their hotly anticipated grudge match to pick up the vacant English title at Fight Camp back in August 2020, before blitzkrieg and blitzing Nick Webb inside 1 round to retain the belt a year later at Matchroom's headquarters in Essex. So that's some good news. The full story, boxing247.com. Breaking news here. We're going to see Dillian Whyte go up against a big American fighter, Jermaine Franklin. In other heavyweight news, it seems that WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman let the cat out of the bag, saying number 1 ranked Deontay Wilder, number 2 ranked Andy Ruiz Jr. will be ordered to fight in a title eliminator at the WBC's upcoming convention about a week from now, taking place in Mexico. And that fight is to determine the mandatory WBC heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. Whether Fury still holds the WBC title by that time, as smoke clears from the Wilder versus Ruiz fight, is unclear. Whoever holds the WBC belt will need to defend against the Ruiz and Wilder winner. Wilder, as you know, is 43-2-1. Coming off a sensational first-round knockout win over Robert Helenius last Saturday in his return bout after being out of the ring for 12 months due to his loss to Tyson Fury, I might add. Fighting the short 6'2" Ruiz will present some difficulties apparently for Wilder due to Andy's height and fast hand speed. But if Wilder can bomb Ruiz with the type of fight hand that he's knocked out Helenius with, it'll be an early night for Ruiz in the convention. All the final eliminator rounds that include Ruiz Wilder will be ordered, said WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman about the Ruiz Wilder fight to be ordered, as I said, at the next convention about a week from now. So there you go. Let's move along now to some updates with respect to Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. And according to the odds makers over in the UK, not only will Tyson Fury win, but he will win by knockout, they predict. William Hill, the leading bookmaker, makes the 2-time world heavyweight champion a comfortable favorite for the bout with Chisora giving, let's say, a shot for an unlikely victory. William Hill spokesperson Lee Phelps said, Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora have fought twice before, with Fury coming out on top both times. Many see this as a one-sided fight, and we agree, as we make the Gypsy King odds at 411 to repeat his past heroics and close the fight out inside the distance. Alrighty, let's move along to other heavyweight news out of the U.S. Popular South Philadelphia heavyweight Sonny Conto will take on James Bryant in the 6th-round headline bout on Saturday, October 29th, coming up at the 2300 Arena in Philly. Conto will be fighting just a mile from his home in South Philadelphia and will look to thrill his large hometown fan base when he takes on Bryant. Bryant, by the way, is out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and has a record of 6-1 with 4 knockouts. But he's 37 years old and on a 3-fight winning streak, which includes his most recent outing when he decisioned Thomas Hawkins back in 2020 in Pittsburgh. Also on that card, you're going to see Bryce Mills taking on Larry Friars in a junior welterweight bout. Devin Gant out of New Jersey is going to step into the ring in a 4-round featherweight bout with an opponent to be announced. Tariq Green out of Philadelphia will take on Evelyn Still out of Voorhees, New Jersey in their super middleweight contest. Carlos Moreira out of Connecticut will be fighting Tyree Arnold out of Philadelphia in a 4-round junior welterweight fight. Shane Slocum out of Philadelphia making his pro debut in a heavyweight fight against Jonathan Wiles, also out of Philadelphia. And in a battle of pro debuting light heavyweights, James White takes on John Pratt. And finally, quick note here, I shouldn't have said this. Here we go. Tyler Zwicharowski. Wow, sorry about that, fight fans. Out of Philadelphia will take on an opponent to be named in a 4-rounder middleweight fight. This is all being brought to you courtesy of Johan Promotions, a company that was founded way back in 1971, I might add. And is in the U.S., the nation's oldest and largest television distributor of pay-per-view and closed-circuit sports and entertainment events, such as the Ultimate Fighting Championship and concerts as well. So good for Johan Promotions for bringing us this new fight at the 2300 arena in Philadelphia, featuring some heavyweights. Speaking of upcoming fight news and stuff in the sensational category, I mentioned yesterday Oscar De La Hoya and his contribution to a hospital in Los Angeles. And we have more news on that level. Dr. Mike Varshavski showed deft footwork and pop in his punches during a workout in front of New York City media on Tuesday before he ducked out to make his afternoon shift at the Overlook Medical Center in New Jersey, where he's an attending physician. Dr. Mike, you might recall, was in Creative Clash, and he will balance practicing medicine with training for his professional boxing debut when he takes on Chris Avila in a 4-round cruiserweight bout on Saturday, October 29th, part of the Most Valuable Promotions and Showtime pay-per-view event headlined by Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. Taking place at the Desert Diamond Arena, formerly the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. The Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva event is available on pay-per-view as stated, and also tickets are on sale via Ticketmaster.com. Getting back to Dr. Mike, he has over 22 million followers on his social media accounts. That's incredible. And plans to donate his entire purse on October 29th to the Boys and Girls Club of Harlem, whose executive director, Sharon Joseph, was in attendance during Tuesday's aforementioned workout. Dr. Mike, a board-certified family doctor who was named People magazine's sexiest doctor alive, started his boxing journey nearly 11 years ago after his mom died of leukemia, and he found refuge in the steady routine of training. During the early days of the pandemic, his popular YouTube page emerged as a reliable source of health information, with interviews with Dr. Anthony Fauci and other health authorities in the U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer has invited Dr. Mike to appear with him at press conferences to discuss health projects that Schumer has championed. Dr. Mike also appeared in a YouTube video with super lightweight contender Ryan Garcia, who proclaimed that Dr. Mike beats any YouTuber after working out with him. Dr. Mike entertained media at the Last Round Gym in Chelsea, Manhattan, on Tuesday under the direction of respected head trainer Thomas Baldwin and assistant Steve Frank, an 11-year pro who once challenged Bernard Hopkins for the middleweight title back in 1996. And here's what Dr. Mike had to say at that particular conference. I'll just briefly skip over some of the intro stuff and go on to balancing his other pursuits. He said, the biggest edge I have, and it's funny that it's even an edge, is that I don't have a big family and I don't have kids. So I'm able to dedicate myself to the craft of boxing to make sure that I'm there every single day. I make sure to stay super organized with my team that's here. They help me with my YouTube stuff and everything else that's going on online, the podcast. We're launching special products at the end of this year. We're doing this with a very small team. That's because we're very passionate. We believe in the message, ethics, and motivation. And on a funny closing comment on wanting to face Jake Paul in the future. I think there's a lot of fighters, he says, in my size range, in the 180, 190 range, that will be very interested in taking him on. Also, we have to keep in mind that I'm a practicing doctor. So we have to see what the schedule holds, what the timing is. But I'd like to be optimistic rather than pessimistic. So I think there's great things on the horizon. I think Jake Paul caught a lot of flack for being very inflammatory and instigative, whatever, and had to do that to create a name for himself in boxing, because otherwise people really wouldn't pay attention to him. But now I'm very appreciative of the stuff he's doing to improve fighter pay. He's got Amanda Serrano fighting in sold-out Madison Square Garden events. He's helped her achieve that. He's become very close to her family, and see how grateful she is for the things he's helped her with and her team. So if he keeps doing that, then that's amazing, he says, and I want to see only continued success for him. So we'll see how that moves on. Chris Avila isn't chump change, so we'll see how he makes out, and more than likely bring you the results after that October 29th fight. Let's see if we have any other news here. Oh, yes. Continuing on with other news in November, there are legitimate reports that the Thanksgiving evening, that's November 23rd, main event scheduled between Julian Black Dragon Baptiste and Anthony the Gentle Savage Andriossi. There's bad blood brewing between the camps, largely because the Andriossi camp resents how Baptiste's coaches have harassed him after he was forced to pull out of their originally scheduled fight last August due to illness. The two fighters were originally slated to fight for the vacant Massachusetts Middleweight Championship, but Andriossi was too ill to fight. But their match will now headline Jimmy Farrell Fight Night, presented by Granite Chin Promotions at the Bridgewater Veterans Club in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Granite Chin's Pro-Am card will honor the late Farrell, the highly respected trainer from Quincy, Massachusetts, who recently passed away after a long battle with cancer. A share of the proceeds will be donated to Old Colony Hospice. And good for Granite Chin in doing that, by the way. I wanted to have a quick look here and see if there's anyone else in that fight. Oh, look at that. In the 4-round co-feature, Atlanta light heavyweight James Savage Hagler Jr., whose dad, James Hagler, is often on our Talk and Fight show on each Friday night, the Friday night panel. Anyway, James Hagler Jr. is now 3-1 with one knockout, and he's the grandson of the late, great, marvelous Marvin Hagler. And he takes on entertaining New York light heavyweight Scott Bombs Lampert in their fight that night. And also fighting on the pro undercard in the 4-round bout is Brockton, dare I say it, heavyweight Kirk Wilmot, who's now 1-0 with one knockout, versus Agia Prote. And Brockton pro debuting junior welterweight Stephen Davis meets an opponent to be determined later. Additional pro matches as well as amateur portion of the card will soon be announced, according to Granite Chin. So there you go, some good stuff. And I was hoping to get some news from the Terence Crawford camp today regarding his potential fight on December 10th against David Avanesian. But it seems that's still in the rumor category at the moment. I haven't seen any true confirmation yet. So we'll wait to see. Anyway, no, there's no confirmation. That brings me up to speed today, bringing you all the news fit to print. Thank you for joining me here on Talk and Fight. I appreciate it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you later on this afternoon at 4 p.m. for Knuckle Up, and then later on this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the Friday night panel. Featuring Tim Witherspoon, by the way. Great to see him again online. Hope he doesn't have technical issues. And thanks very much for Holly Donovan earlier on for giving a great show as well, and an update regarding her appearance with Gemma Richardson and their discussion on the great fight last week, the historic all-female fight that took place in England, attracting over 2 million fans online from the United Kingdom alone, let alone being shown, I think, 175 countries around the world. Great stuff from the women, great stuff from Holly, great stuff from Talk and Fight. We'll see you later on.